that scared me.
Hello. Oh, what's
Well,
scary?
it was just the rapid Discord sound. I was
Oh, I
focused.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
All right.
Nothing crazy.
That's good. Did you have time to play?
Oh yeah,
How that went for you?
went pretty good. I pushed up a few ranks on Stadium in specific.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay. Okay. So we want to do as planned, right? We want to review the game you sent me yesterday, or is there
Yeah.
a better game?
That one still fits the bill.
Perfect. Yeah, we can start with that game. Probably start with the positioning, and then we can also discuss the other seams, whatever you want to go
Mhm.
over a little bit more. Yeah, well, do you have any questions? Is there anything else what you want to mention, maybe, before we start?
Nothing comes to mind right now, at least.
Okay, okay, let's start with that game then. I'm gonna screen share, and
Right.
should be good. Right, let's see. Sometimes the replays are a little bit buggy, but should be okay, probably. Let's take a look. Loading match. Yeah, it's all good. This is Watchpoint Gibraltar. Is that... what game mode is that right now?
Escort.
I mean, is it quick play or is it
Oh no, ranked.
it's ranked.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's perfect for us because I remember you you asked me to if we can do stadium. That's also possible if you really want to focus on that. It's just some different variables we gotta keep in mind in
hmm
there. Yeah, all those builds, all the abilities. So that's why it might be a little bit chaotic. But yeah, that's okay. Let's do Gibraltar. And do you remember this game? How that went for you?
Oh yeah.
What's been difficult?
It was pretty close. It was more so just there were times where I was kind of unsure of what to do next.
Okay.
'Cause I'd be like sitting up on high ground poking, and then they just start walking underneath me, and I can't, capitalize on that.
Okay, okay. So it's mainly just because of the enemy position and your positioning, you kind of maybe not sure sometimes what it could
Yeah.
be doing. Okay. Uh, and your name in here is that Edirelm or
Oh
is it?
no, I'm blue. Yeah.
Okay, so playing Sigma here. And, well, are we looking to work on your Sigma as well? As far as I remember, yeah, you did mention
I'm
your...
pretty sure I mentioned Sig.
Yeah, from what I see, Hero Pool, Hazard, Ryan, Hog, and Sig. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so we can work on Sig, and is there any other tank? What do you want to focus on today?
I mean, like I got like a solid JQ. Like most like the brawl type tanks I'm familiar with. But when it gets to like the niche ones like, Ball, Winston, Doom, Diva, those are the ones I'm more iffy on.
I see it. I see it. Well, ideally, and that is something what I mentioned yesterday, if you can just have around 3 characters or 4 characters, that works the best. Because with what you telling me, that is a lot of characters. It's gonna be really hard to improve. That's what I want to say because of the just so many micros you have to
Yeah, no,
learn. Hmm.
it's less so that like I'll, lock them first thing, but like it if they have like for example, if they have like Ana, Kiri, stuff
Hmm.
like that, like they're like my comfortable swap picks.
I see. So do you swap just based on the enemy composition, or is there anything else? What are you keeping in
Uh
mind?
Most of the time I try to like stick it out, but like if it's noticeably bad, then I'm like, all right, yeah, this isn't working.
Right, right. So if big hero pool is the problem, but we want to swap as well based on certain compositions, what is the good solution? What do you think?
I mean, I guess having characters that cover each other's weaknesses.
Right, but if you have those characters, then you end up having too many. right? And as
Yeah.
as we said, it might be really complicated. It's just because you have to learn so many micros and you spend so much time. Realistically, you just will need to spend like 3 more time compared to the player A, who is just playing 2 or 3 characters, and you
Yeah.
get the same results anyway. So it's gonna be it's gonna be really difficult. So let's say on average, with most of the students, we say if it's that is player A, they play 2 hours per day. In your case, you're gonna play 6 hours per day to make it work. It's gonna be well, it's average, but it's gonna be pretty complicated. So what do you think? What is the solution in this case then?
I mean, I guess you could try relying on your team, but since I'm solo queuing, that's less consistent.
Yeah, well, exactly. We don't want to rely on your team as much, right? But as you mentioned, you also want to be able to cover every possible situation in the game, okay? And to be able to do so, what do you need to keep in mind? And that is really important. That's why I'm starting with that. It just kind of goes along the way with the improvement. Yeah, kind of you'll learn some goals is, generally speaking, when you're deciding what character to play, it can be based on 2 things to start with. It's going to be your composition, and then it's going to be the map you play on. So this way, you kind of playing around the strengths, what your comp offers you, what the map offers you, and then you pick the best suitable option out of your character's pool. And those options, if we let's do it this way, I can just remove this real quick. So you starting with your comfort picks, and this is going to be typically 2, 3 characters, and then you making a decision to actually pay attention to composition and map, and you pick the best possible character. Because what you described so far, it's you have certain comfort picks, but it's more about you paying attention to the enemy composition. But first off, it's less relevant compared to this here, and it's also making you make those decisions to go other characters where there are too many, right? It's just not
Yeah.
good for the long-term improvement. Okay, so that is something what you can start with. Regarding the comp, there are 3 general rivals. This is how we usually differentiate the compositions. Obviously, in each time in each map and each situation is different, but overall they're gonna be 3 main directions. That's what I call that. It's gonna be brawl, it's gonna be poke, and it's gonna be dive. So 3 main directions, and that's why typically your hero pool should only consist around 3 characters. So you will be able to suit in 3 categories, and that is where you don't have to make the swap based on, well, what if they have X, I have to do Y, and what if they have Z something, yeah, like that different character like Anna, what do I do in this case? We don't have to. We'd rather make a decision based on the bigger picture, which is going to be more important anyway. Yeah, you're paying attention to the most important rival, like the bigger stuff, rather than paying attention to those 1-2 percentages of what's less important, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're just looking at the bigger stuff. And now, if you see that your composition is brawl, your composition is poke, your composition is dive, you can make a decision based on exactly your comfort picks, exactly your character pool. So, in your case, what do you think would suit? Well, let's start with, are you familiar with those categories? Brawl, poke, dive,
Yeah.
what that means? Okay, can you just describe real quick what each does?
Brawl would have like, the old like, Ryan, Lucio, May, kind of just, steaming it down mid. Well, dive is like Winston, Tracer, and they single someone out and shoot them at the same time, going behind the opposing tank. And poke is keeping things away from you so you can get
Yeah.
value.
Yeah, that is true. If we describe it through the lens of the range, for example, then like you say, the brawl is going to be mostly short range oriented. The poke composition is going to be longer range oriented. Any sort of snipers, any sort of long range pressure, even use a Sigma, it's a pretty long range tank. That's why it's pretty good suitable in those compositions. And when you play in dive, it's all about this going from long distance to short distance, and this arrow can represent mobility. You just using your mobility to get from long sideline to the short sideline, and you indirectly threatening the enemies from long distances because of your mobility. That's how it works. Any Winston, Diva, this sort of stuff. So, in theory, if we look at your characters pool, what do you think? Which character would suit in each category for you out of your
Well,
pool?
well, poke would be the Sig kinda hog, like you know.
Yes,
Uh, brawl would be the Rhine, and then the dive would kind of be Hazard. He's a little
can be.
like a gray area.
Yeah, he's 50-50, you're right. He is okay at brawl, he's okay at dive, but he's not perfect at any of those stances. And this is where, especially with the new characters, some people find it challenging. Like what Ramato does. I see he does some poke, I see he does some brawling. Your idea is just to make sure, because you know the categories, you understand in which category the character fits. It's sort of like a triangle. On one side you have brawl, on one side, another side you have poke, and then you have dive, and you think in what each character does more. For example, Reinhardt, even Reinhardt does some sort of poking with the fire strike, or even
Yeah.
with the hazard, you still can brawl, but you also have dive capabilities. So see, in your case, if you know those rebels, I don't think you even need to have too many characters, because, and this is really important, that's why I'm addressing this, because if you have too many, then it's going to be really difficult to improve for the long term. So if you stick to this character pool, and actually this is supposed to be hog, I think. Yes, Sig, hog is gonna be good in poke, and dive is hazard is gonna be good enough. And you can make rotations of the characters based on the meta, based on just what you like more. So for example, let's say season 18, I wanna play Reinhardt, and it's for whatever reason it's really good. But then I made a decision to swap the Ryan with Jake Junker Queen. But this is gonna be more long-term decision. Yeah, maybe you don't enjoy Ryan anymore. Maybe it's just for 2-3 months you playing Junker Queen. It's also reasonable. It's a long period of time. But when we make the switch each time, each game, just because of the enemy composition, which is less relevant anyway, it becomes pretty difficult to work on this stuff. So you can just start with that. Yeah, what do you think about this approach? Just if we.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, because I've always heard like one tricks are bad. Don't avoid being a one trick. So I was like,
Who said
yeah, okay.
that?
It's just kind of like a general consensus. I feel like whenever you get like a one trick, you're like, well, that kind of sucks.
Well, but at the same time, if you think about from the other side, the one trick is the guy who's
Who
been
knows his
getting.
character?
Yeah, he's been getting the most experience on the character. See, no one is right, actually. The truth is always somewhere in between. There are people who
Yeah,
say that one tricking is bad. There are people who say that playing multiple characters is bad too. So you, in general, want to pick something in between, and the golden rule is usually this: 2-3 characters is gonna be usually enough, because you're gonna be fitting each category and each map too. If you're talking about the maps, it's just gonna be mostly for dive, it's gonna be more verticality. For poke, it's gonna be more longer range oriented. And for the brawl characters, we really like to be in any enclosed maps with short range spaces. So if you have those maps, if you know that you exactly play in the composition, for example, I play Legion Tower and I have brawl, I'm pretty confident that I can go Reinhardt, or I can go Jungle Queen if I have her in my pool. It's gonna be good enough, to be honest.
yeah.
Because if you have too many characters, that's gonna be the other problem with improvement. It's just gonna be not as easy. Arguably, I would say at the lower level, 1-3 is even better. And once you start going towards the mid ranks, somewhere, well, you can be a diamond, it can be plat, you start building your characters pool a little bit more, you start adding more characters, because it becomes more and more relevant. This is how it usually goes. So even those things about like 1-3K, it can be pretty good strategy for just anyone who's starting out, to be honest. It's okay. You don't need characters, you don't need compositions even, you don't have to think about all of that stuff too. You just need to learn the character, because to learn the character, we're learning fundamentals, so we end up getting enough value. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we finished with that. Do you have any questions about all of this here?
Well, just like as in how hazards like like in like the gray area, because I play them as a I play them essentially like at first I brawl, I create space, I threaten chokes, I do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But then if I see an opening, then that's when I go in. Would you say that's like the correct approach?
Well, depends on what you mean by, well, first off, what do you do regarding brawling? Because you can brawl from different positions, brawl different characters, and looking for opportunity, that's also slightly concerning, just the way you phrase it. Because yes, it's good. If you see the opportunity, something happens, the enemy, they tend to use resources on you because you're the tank, you absorb pressure, and then after that you can capitalize on it. This sounds good, but at the same time, there's a really good thing you gotta be thinking about is how to bait them to do something, and are you doing that actively? Yeah, if you do, then this is gonna be good usually for you as a tank. You need to make sure you take the proactive positions. You may want to make sure that there's some sort of pressure on you. It's not rather you wait for it, but you force the enemy to
Yeah.
do so, because if they don't, then they have to maybe give up some space, maybe they have to just not stay in the point or use an ultimate because of it. Yeah, just any sort of pressure you put in. That's how I'll put it. But we have to look, to be honest, to just see, are you doing the exact correct things there. So yeah. Oh, by the way, potentially, because you have the hazard, you actually have capability to even just put the hazard in brawl and dive category. It's okay, and just have sick hawk for poke. But honestly, because one character is enough, I would even cut on one of the characters potentially. Like I mentioned yesterday, 4 characters might be also a lot, but it's okay. You can work around 4 characters too. It's just sig over hog. Well, when you usually run hog is gonna be when there are more opportunities for you to take off angles, I think. On Sigma it's relevant, but it's less relevant because on the hog you need to threaten the enemy team from the angle so you can hook them. If you're not able to, on the flat maps, I will give you an example. Circuit Royale, for example, pretty flat map. There's no angles almost. You cannot go left, you cannot go right. Most of the time, it's difficult. You're getting poked out. So Hall can be tough. Sigma can be better. Yeah, if you're still thinking about keeping this character's pool. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Are there any more questions about all of that here?
Because like as in making like a threat, like a quantifiable threat. Like for example, like because you were mildly confused on just my vagueness of brawling with hazard. In that, I mean, I'm within a good range of like, let's say like a Reinhardt. I'm staying out of his swing range while still being able to pressure him into shielding more often. And if I see like, for example, if I have like a Genji going behind and then the enemy Ana misses their sleep on him, then I'll go in, slash him with the leap, and then I'll jump back out.
I see. So yeah, what you're describing there, this really depends on the situation, because I cannot say exactly without looking. Is it the right decision that you're going after the Ryan, or is it the right decision that you go after the Genji? There, ultimately, the general principle for use a tank is to go after what does the most pressure? What is the most threatening currently and killable at the same time? So if
Yeah.
that's the Reinhardt, sure. If it's not the Reinhardt, then it's wrong decision. Usually, on average, the tank is not the right decision, but it depends. If Ryan is out of position, maybe it's good. Maybe if he is not out of position, you gotta go after someone else, like you described the Genji, but cannot say without looking. you need
Yeah.
to you need to exactly look at the situation first. Yeah. Are we good to start with the replay then, or
Yeah.
is there's yeah? Oh, okay, okay. Let's look at the Sigma. And by the way, if you look at your composition and you look at the map, what do you think about the Sigma pick?
To be fair, I picked Sigma when it was only BAP. I didn't see the other people because they kind of meandered in late, but
Mhm.
it's definitely not Poke, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's not entirely poke 100%. Well, what are your thoughts? Is Sigma still alright here, or would you play
He's
anything else?
not bad, but
Mhm.
he's definitely not optimal.
What's gonna be more optimal out of
Uh,
your pool?
probably Hazard.
Probably Haza can be okay because of verticality too. I think
Yeah,
why
because he
not?
has the wall climb.
Yeah, exactly. Wall climb, you jump, the shift, you can go from one place to another too. Pretty good, I would say. But Sigma is not as bad because you have long sightlines on this map, especially defense.
Mhm.
It usually turns out okay. You even though you only have BAP, I think. Well, it can work. It can work if you feel comfortable on him too. So just something to keep in mind for the Lawrence. Okay, what's your strategy here? Because you mentioned positioning's been the problem. What do you think? Why do you
Up
start
here,
here?
it's more so bunker down. I have sight lines on the like stairway up and the main choke, so I'm able to apply pressure well with my shield, with my supports. Nothing gonna be able to like insta kill me really.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What's the rank of this game? So I don't
I
know.
think it was Plat 1.
Plat 1. Okay. Well, if we're starting with this space, I think you're right. Generally speaking, there are a lot of poke capabilities. You can also be flexible a lot of times. It's not bad to even start over here, just look for early pressure this way, but this is okay, reasonable position, usually, because you're able to control most of the space, and this is what we want, as the Sigma, any sort of poke character, but yes, let's keep watching. So there are a few things I see already we can talk about, but I just want to watch more. Okay, doing the pressure, that's fine. A little bit of shield. And then we keep up the pressure again. Hog goes for the pressure. That's good that we dodged that hook there. Just went behind the building. Dropping, sure. Using your rock. Okay. Yeah, it's not looking good now because of the position. So might get forced out of here. Let's see, we might still build the pressure actually, they're not taking angles right now. If they would maybe flank you around the top there, then it would be pretty
Yeah,
difficult, but so far it's going okay-ish for you.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure I rip a battle here. Yeah.
I see, okay. So, there are few things to start with. I'm thinking it's gonna be probably, first off, the positions we're choosing, and then also gonna be the resource management, a little bit about that too. So that was good position at the start, right? When we
Yeah, I definitely knew I wasn't in a good spot, like when I was down there, but I didn't know how I would be able to, safely disengage without just getting like either hooked or like the
yes,
rest of my team crumbling.
exactly. So your decision starts here, right? When we start dropping, we start doing something towards the enemy team, kind of try to get around. Why we drop in the first place? What is that about? To try to stop the cart, or is there
It
anything
was
else?
to try to like not let the hog just walk past like without a fight.
Mm-hmm. So you wanna just actively pressure him? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. However, if we're thinking about generating pressure and just winning the fight, that, like you say, maybe for you different rivals to focus on. For example, this can be the Hog who is pushing the card. That is something what we cannot punish. This also can be the enemy team over here. And if we're thinking about winning the fight in general, you just want to find the suitable target you want to put the pressure on. And generally speaking, you just want to make sure that you win the fight, first of all. Yeah, and it's just, if let's say you get in the backline, yeah, or let's say you get in the Hog, this is still gonna build you an advantage. But to be able to do that, there's gonna be general idea for you usually is that you need to try to maintain some sort of power position. That's what I like to call that. It's just where you have more capabilities to do something towards an enemy. So let's say the Hog is here. Well, that is understandable. He's pushing the cart, or those people are here. Yeah, there's another angle just on the main. There's a backline, and you can choose who to pressure. But the thing is, when we drop from the good positions, a lot of the times we end up not in the best spot because the others can easily focus us. They can easily run us over. But let's say we start at the positions and keep generating pressure. Let's say you get this backline for whatever reason because of well, somebody dies, and then later on it's gonna be easier for you to stop the Hog. Or let's say you get the Hog for whatever reason, maybe he is exposed to someone too, and then you can stop the backline too. But now when you're dropping, you're basically removing one of the advantages you get in the fight.
Yeah.
Which is it can be okay if there is a good reason why you do that, but usually the good reason why is if you're able to get a kill, if you are able to force out something important. Usually starting with getting a kill, it's going to be good enough rule. And you see when you're dropping now, there's going to be no kill opportunity. You're kind of just dropping and you take a lot of damage because of it. You have to resustain, the enemy or team is focusing you, and then your team have to put a lot of resources on you, right? So for example, this lamp here can be a good example. So they moved the card just by a little bit, but the resource trade been not looking good, and the position is not looking good now for the long term. So it's not allowing you to establish comfortable pressure for the long term towards the enemy team anyway. So see, just you always playing for winning the fight first. You're not playing for stopping the point, if that makes sense. Okay? So power positions is just going to be the positions where you're able to see most of the space around the card, where you're able to control something around it. You don't have to control the card directly. You don't have to control the objective by stopping it. You can just make sure you secure the fight first, and then after that you would drop. So in here it would be just you pretty much playing up there, and that's going to be good enough. That's one thing. That's one thing about the power position. By the way, it does make sense. Just making sure you're in control, making sure you staying there. Does it make sense, or do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because, like, in hindsight, I shouldn't have dropped. I should have just kept putting pressure, just, like, let the Hog do his thing for a bit, deal with his backline possibly, and then go in.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it's going to be mostly this exception rule when to drop is when you are able to get a kill, then you can do something like that. But so far, it's just not as good. You just end up wasting a lot of resources. And the second thing I want to mention, because it's really important in just you controlling the space, I want to ask you about your shield. So I see that you're placing the shield over here. It just starts with just shield on the side, shield on the corner. What is that about? Why do you put it in here?
Because it covers, like, my main, like, it covers, like, the main choke point, but I can also fall back around just in case they do come up the side, which I'm pretty sure they did. And it came in and it helped there.
Right. Let's think about, because I talked about that you need to secure the space where your card is moving, just where it's going to. Now, when we are trying to tank, the general idea with your resources is make sure that your resources go in the space which is relevant, okay? And this shield here, where if the team chooses to just not enter your space completely. They can just sit here, in reality, AFK, spam the shield, and then walk in. It's not gonna be as good. Opposite to if they walked in into space, and then you have the shield up. So you're making it more difficult for them to exist. You're basically saying, oh, you're trying to take my power position, you're trying to take my space, but I have this thing here to protect me, to protect my team. There's also another side of it, is when you don't use your ability right away, this can also bait an enemy action. And let's say Hog is trying to hook you. Obviously, if he sees the shield, he's not gonna do that. But when he sees no shield, he's trying to hook you, and then you put the shield up so you cancel the cooldown. So there's the double value. You cancel the big cooldown with the cheap one. It's baiting, and first off, just thinking about fighting for relative space. I will give you an example. This is exactly what happens. This Hog is over here. Who is able to shoot him? Well, it seems like you are able to shoot him now, but let's say this guy walked in here, and then you put the shield up. What do you think? Is this guy gonna receive more damage potentially? Or let's say he's gonna walk even further. I don't know. Let's say he's even here, and then you put the shield up while playing at the B position. What do you think? Is this guy gonna receive more pressure eventually?
Eventually, yeah, but in my mind, because during this fight, I forced him out of the stairway because I was able to just, use Sig's bouncing projectiles to just hit him when he can't hit me.
Yeah, and this is good. Yeah. Yeah.
So my mind, so my mind was more so just don't let him try and get close.
Right. Exactly. And you want to do exactly the opposite. Because you have your defensive abilities, you have the capability for you to survive. It's okay for you to pressure, just generally speaking offensive, just always shooting, and to force him out. But when you are trying to tank things, you need to tank in the space which is relevant, to put it simple. And now, this space is not relevant to your team. Nobody can follow up in there too. So your tank cooldowns shouldn't be used. Let's put it this way. But when the team actually enters the space which is relevant for your team, let's say they start entering towards this A, suddenly your team is able to do stuff. They're able to shoot this angle A, they're able to do something towards it. But because you have defensive ability, you're basically telling them, no, you cannot exist here, I have the space protected, and then they take a lot of damage and they probably die. But if you put the shield this way, then it makes it easier for them to walk eventually, which they kind of didn't, to be honest, but the higher you go, the easier it's gonna be for the people. Like this shield, it's not looking good, because they can choose if they play it correctly, if they play it right, they can also make a change and try to push in when you don't have your shield later.
So basically, like, it boils down to, like, I'm just, like, showing my cards too early, you could say?
Yes, that, and it's just the general principle of the tank. You need to tank in a space which is relevant. If I'm tanking, imagine you use the shield in a spawn. That is the same thing. You just use the shield in the spawn, you're saying, I'm trying to protect my team. It's protecting your team in a way well, it's gonna take some time for them to destroy that, but then guess what? When your team actually needs protection, you don't have the shield. It's sort of working the same way. Like, what you done here? You just don't need to use your abilities too early. You trying to tank a little bit too much before the fight happens. So it's kind of just choosing it for relevant time. I will give you an example. Let's just maybe elaborate on that too. I will search. I probably have some SIG examples. So just gonna be maybe a little bit of power positions. Probably not, because there's gonna be flat map. Just give me one moment. I will need this video. Okay, and yeah, mostly we'll talk about the shield management. So you can see how most of the shield goes towards the space which is right. This is a good example. This guy, it's KSA, they're pretty good overall with all that stuff. They're pretty good with just managing their shield. They can use that. You can see that they're using their shield early currently, but it's just mostly for their protection to use the rock. But then right after, they're just gonna make sure that most of the shield is gonna be hidden and it's going towards the space which is relevant. For example, Circuit Royale, most of our shield should go towards this space here. So until the enemy team makes a turn to fight the space, you cannot, well, you shouldn't, to waste your shield, because if you do, then the enemy team has an advantage. If we're talking about, and this is going to be easy to understand too, because they have the Sigma. Imagine you use your shield here, and it's getting poked down, and then they walk with the full shield, or you can use your shield here and waste the more of the Sigma shield, so you have more of your shield and Sigma is less. So this is just the resource war. Yeah, you want to make sure that you're fighting the resources and you are doing it in the best possible space. Does it make sense? So you'll see later. So they start walking. Oh, I think for some reason the video something's up. And maybe it's because of my recording. Can you see the video just fine, by the way?
Yeah, it's like a little low res, but
little low res.
I was able to see it fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try it again. Okay, so sometimes. Yeah, let's see. So it's a. Yeah, I think it should work. Anyway, you can see the Sigma is exactly making that mistake now. They are putting the shield early, and the KSA here is on the other side waiting. He's waiting for the moment when the enemy team actually starts walking, using natural cover, and once they enter the space which is relevant for our team, where we can control, which is this corner with the long range pressure, he can actually start shielding. And the shield in reality shouldn't be your first resource anyway, and it's never for your team to, well, most of the time. It's for you to help yourself to stay at the whatever good position you have, if we put it this way, because I talked about the power positions I mentioned. Well, it's good that you stay there. The shield exactly helps you to achieve that too. But first off, cover. And you can see they're not even using the shield for some time too. They're just using cover. They're just making sure that they force out more things. But once the enemy team makes an action and they sort of bait them to do so, that they can maybe put the shield up and make sure they secure a little bit of their health. And this is how it goes. Yeah, you're just constantly fighting the space which is relevant, using shift here to sustain too. But they already have slight advantage because of that one pick before. And after that, they can recognize, well, maybe I don't have that much shield, so I have to give up the space. But then they're gonna be patient again and make sure that once the enemy team is entering the corner, we actually can put it up. We don't want to be exposed too much towards the space which is irrelevant. Gonna waiting. I'm shooting something here, not using shield. There's no need. Just once enemy starts walking, or maybe there's a good reason why I put the shield more aggressively than maybe if you're able to get a kill, for example. See, this guy starts walking. Most likely, that's where you will think about this KSA putting up the shield later on. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, like here. And see the way they angle it as well. It's not as exposed towards that space. So it's exactly the example like you have here. Yep, just fight for the space which is relevant.
So use it more. So use it like reactively, not proactively.
You can phrase it this way. Yeah, you can phrase it this way for sure. And you're gonna be using. So regarding the shield, I'll mention it this way. Use it to not protect, but rather make sure you stay alive at the power positions. Use it to maintain power positions you have, just whatever the good spot you have. And first off, you need to be using cover. Cover should be your first shield and will be alright most of the time. So don't waste it. Don't waste it before.
Yeah.
This is how I would put it. Right, let's keep going. And this is exactly the type of the shield which is also not needed. You can see, oh, I'm shielding. Well, it's maybe sort of, I see that the Genji is low, but as a general idea right now, you might notice that it's okay, like 90% of the time, to will try to just use shield selfishly, because if you're using shield selfishly right at right positions, then you're gonna be absorbing attention, and if you absorb attention in the right spots, then this Genji will not receive as much pressure. Imagine, in theory, if I'm up here and I have my full shield, most likely the attention goes to me and not to this Genji, and because I have shield, this allows me to secure the spot. This position where you are is also good, but just keep that in mind. Most of you shield selfishly. Any tank, you need to be selfish with the resources. Also, you can save with perspective of the top 10 players when I was playing, it's most of the time you might want to make sure you enable yourself going aggressive, and then after, you thinking about if somebody's really low, if somebody really needs help, then sure, we can shield that. It's kind of what you do in a way here. The shield allows you to stay aggressive at this position. It's not as needed, as we talked about before. Yeah, you probably can maintain the power position, but this sort of does some work regarding that, though. Yeah, eventually it's not gonna go too good because we maintain this is not good position for us in terms of value. Yeah, it's just better for us to maintain the power position, like we said. And if we push forward, let's see how is that gonna be. I see you taking the top here. This is good, and your shield is What do you think? What do you think about the shield?
Unnecessary.
Yeah, maybe you can wait a little bit longer. It's exactly...
Yeah.
There's another rule I can tell you, and it's okay to use it for now. It's gonna be... Because you have your shield HP, it's there for the reason. The shield HP is regenerating. It's regenerating faster compared to the passives. So, if you take damage with a shield HP, then it's gonna be better compared to you using the shield, because you could be taking damage with the shield HP and then shielding yourself and then make the HP regenerate. So it's making it more effective. Yep. You are trading with less expensive cooldowns, and then after that you can use something more expensive, like that shield in this case. So the general rule is, if you have shield HP dropped, then you can start shielding for any poke damage. There are obviously going to be exceptions, like shield when maybe you realize there's a big cooldowns being used on you, maybe there's ultimate you want to block, but start with that rule, that's going to be good enough. For now, no damage on us, I don't shield, that's it. So no shield HP dropped, okay, no need to shield, no reason. I just trade your HP, trade the shield HP here, blue HP, and it's going to be alright. But now you don't have shield, well, it becomes more concerning. And it's just not as much pressure you can put later on. It's okay, you probably will not be able to contest the card easily, but yeah, it's good you remove the shield here. By the way, this type of the shield is more reasonable. I really like the angle as well. You see this guy entered this space. You only have Ana here, unfortunately, and you kind of had, I believe you had Echo going in. Yeah, let's see where she is.
It was the Genji, but I think he got trapped and died.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. We can do much about it. So this is still better. This is still better. When they make an aggressive move, you kind of angle the shit in the right way. You also answer with your rock, which is kind of the same purpose. They may go on aggressive towards the space, which is relevant. You can punish them afterwards. Yeah, okay, shooting this here. Now, the first thing you can think about right away is what's gonna be your power position going forward. What do you think?
I just played like on main, right around that corner, around those like boxes. Once I got the like the float perk thing, then I started to move up to the higher area. That might have been next round, but I think it was this round.
Would you say being in high areas is bigger value currently?
It's advantageous because the hog, unless he gets a hook on me, but I've been pretty good with denying his hooks this game so far. It's definitely good because the junk, if he's on low, then he wouldn't really be able to do like that much to me. The soldier could also not really do much.
Exactly. And you also, in theory, you're able to control more open space too. You can see more things. Let's say you up on this ship, or let's say you around here, let's say you're just holding on the bridge. There's more capability for you to what you can do towards the space, and this is exactly the definition of the power positions. You're just able to do more towards the entire area, and you have more options what you can do as well. You can drop, you can hold there, you can see more, stuff like that. Now the question is, do you have time to set up, even without the float perk? Do you have time to set up at the power positions?
I definitely did. I definitely did, but I thought the junk was getting more aggressive, but he fell back. So yeah,
Yeah. So after that, did you have time if you don't see him?
yeah.
Yeah, so just do it. And usually this is gonna be your general flow. If you're not in a good position, you usually need to take it. Because you need to fight and build an advantages, and the better positions, they allow you to build that advantage. So a lot of times, and this is what I feel like is happening, a lot of times, for the tank player especially, it feels that they have to be active non-stop, but because they're being really active, they end up wasting their resources before the fight, and you also not having the best position when the fight starts.
Hmm.
You're not able to build an advantage. So usually the good thing for the tank is to be patient. Yes, it might take time to also readjust and make sure that you exactly know when to push, when to actually set up. Yeah, it might be just reading the tempo of the fight, but typically before each fight you need to build as many advantages as possible, so it's gonna be always good to set up just in case. At least I have better power, or I can disable the enemy power just in case if they are trying to take those positions too, because in theory there's nothing stopping the enemy team to make this rotation and go here. I would do that, to be honest. If I see Sigma playing here, then this is so free. But if you are up on those positions right away, you may even think about this here. There's a little bit more too in close here, so might be complicated. But anyway, you start with one of the high grounds. It makes it easy for you to do stuff on the map. Yeah, does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep watching. So far, this is complicated. A good pick on the soldier there, though. A shield, you can see this is not necessary right now. You're not blocking the big cooldown. You can actually bait it if you really like, and then use the shield, and you didn't trade the HP now, so no need.
It was more so just to prevent him getting a hook on me and then pulling me down.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I want you to do. In ideal world, I don't want you to prevent, like you say, use it proactively, but use it reactively. What do I react to is another question. It's just, how do you react to hook? Well, from here, it's looking at the animations, looking at this guy, and it's gonna be the essentials of tanking. You need to bait out stuff. You don't need to be cautious and constantly shield before they do something. Actively force them to do that, and then you punish them with your defensive. It's definitely harder thing to do, but yeah, it's really, really good if you're able to do both. I understand that you also want to try to walk forward, but if you're able to walk forward while also baiting out something, this is even better, because it allows you to go aggressively here more. Yeah, you're just able to push up, take space, so... And yeah, this is good. It's a good thing to be cautious about the cooldowns, though. Just to make sure it's you're being active about how do you force it, how do you try to bait that stuff too. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit complicated if they take that top high ground there, but yeah, that's good. That's good. If you have the float perk, this is perfect as well. Just able to control those positions overall. Sigma, I mean Soldier, going on Soldier there, and then Junkrat is on top. Probably gonna be good value to deal with, and let's see. So this can be exactly even here, so thinking about your shield, and it's okay to pressure, yeah, you need to be cautious about the hook. This is exactly you can think about the baiting, maybe a little bit more. It's just, against the hawk, you definitely need some sort of distance too, if possible. If not, using cover like you did, trying to break the hook, and that would be the most ideal world, probably, where you're not using the shield too early, kind of prevent them doing something with the HP first. Yeah, and then if they use the hook, then you kind of shield, that's gonna be alright. But yeah, this guy goes a little bit deep, we can punish, it's fine. Now push forward, and you can set up.
Yeah, I fail on this jump a few times.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, eventually made it there, so this is all good.
Because I didn't realize that it wouldn't work if you press jump, release, and jump again. You have to hold jump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of working the same way as with some wall climbs in the game. Like you cannot, for example, Skiriko, if you wall climb, if you're already in the action, interrupt the action, you
Yep.
cannot wall
It's
climb
so
again.
annoying.
Yeah, so it's just some general ideas about this game you gotta keep in mind. You cannot repeat the same action over and over like this. So yeah, just make sure you hold it. Why do we drop here, by the way?
I saw my Genji was low. There's a Zarya.
So how it would help your Genji here?
Because he's unable to deflect it. There's no one really else around, so I was like, yeah, I'll do my best to help him.
Can you help him while being at the power spot here?
I could drop a shield down possibly, maybe, but I I was unsure of it.
Because the thing is, in theory, well, we first off this no shield which we use in anyway, right? The Zarya still can go and shoot the Genji. We're not doing anything actively, right? And yeah, like you say here, when you at this point, you still can drop the shield too if it's needed, right? So
Yeah. I just saw it was only Zarya, so I was like, yeah, I'll just be able to just body block it.
right, but are you body blocking that? Isn't that possible for the Zarya still to shoot the Genji?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, like why I'm saying that is because usually to protect your teammates directly, like body blocking, so using the shield is not going to be effective long-term strategy because eventually you still have the more opportunities from the good positions where you're at. Like in theory, let's say you here. You have more protection. The Genji will have more protection if you're trying to fight those guys compared to what we do now. You're thinking, well, my teammates do this, I protect them. You rather need to think what I do proactively. So attention, it goes towards me, if that makes sense. So in theory, you can even think about, is that the best position for me to start with? Yeah, maybe I could be holding even here, even there, because you always have options to what to do on the map. Yeah, and as long as your position remains proactive, this forces an enemy to look at you. This is how you put it. Because in theory, this is not gonna be doing more towards the Genji. You getting less value now because you dropped. Like same thing has happened on the first point. Like now you're not able to control this Baptistas comfortably. You're not able to shoot their backline. You just kind of been stuck in the same area with the Zarya, so it's a little bit complicated. Okay. Yeah, the tire, that's fine. Junkrat's dead. That's where you need to take the position again. Thinking about that. Yeah, and you're gonna have more options. You see, it's gonna be less pressure on you too. By the way, I would throw this idea to you. Arguably, most of the time, when you're trying to protect your team by staying with them, it's making it easier for the enemy team to kill your teammates as well, if you think about that.
Because now they can all look in one place and hit
Yes,
multiple.
exactly, exactly. So by trying to actually protect your teammates by staying with them, it's not doing any good.
It's just drawing more attention.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Gonna
All
make
right,
it worse.
yeah.
And they exactly, usually, especially the higher ranks, they're able to get another angle of attack. They're able to do something
Especially with a
different.
junk on the enemy team.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's that's why don't sit here. Just go in the power spots. By the way, the ship is one of the best positions usually because you're able to control most of the space and choose where to go. You can try to drop here, you can try to drop there, but all the positioning, it depends on the context. Keep that in mind. Just make sure that you start with somewhere where you're able to do more pressure first off. Where with your power positions to the sig, it's more so you're able to control more open space around the objective. That's how it put it. So you have the long range sightlines. Here you have less options, less longer range pressure. So yeah, you don't want to be here. You want to set up somewhere. Okay. Do you have any questions about this so far? I see they're able to eventually get on a point. We also have some time. Probably can watch the attack a little bit. I'm thinking, but yeah. Do you have any questions?
Ready for battle.
Like with that Genji thing, instead of dropping, would I just stay up there and hope he lives, or would I
You don't
Would
have to
I
copy.
like?
You can sew the shield in. If they're
Yeah.
really low, well, usually it's rare when you're trying to exactly protect them when they're low. But yeah, you can do that. But your first priority should be thinking what it could have done even before. Like maybe there is something you can do more proactive with your positioning. Like I said, what if you instead of the bridge, you use the ship. Wouldn't that put more pressure on the enemy potentially? Yeah, you can use the bridge later, but it's just how much more pressure I can put before. So the Genji is not
Hmm.
getting destroyed because it's not was not only about the Zarya. It's about the other people enabling the Zarya. It's also about the backline shooting the Genji too, like the Bap or Kiri. So you can also put more pressure on them. And yeah, you don't most of the time you don't need the drop, no reason, and you saw it clearly, yeah. That
Yeah.
you dropped, you can just
It was
stay at the same.
unnecessary.
Yeah, you can stay at the same position where you are, and if you really want to put the shield, well, sure. If they're really low, that makes sense sometimes, but it just makes sure that most of your shield goes towards what you do, and most of the abilities goes towards enabling your play too. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, we have okay, so this different character, slight different ideas. Well, I'm thinking we'll have some time, but probably what we could have done because we went over the SIG, we could possibly do a game and try to apply some of this stuff. Or yeah, what do you want to do? Do you want to?
Oh yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, let's do that.
So, do you want me to screen share, or do you want me
Yeah,
to, or do you want to? Okay.
yeah. Screen share
Let
is good. Yeah.
me. Boom. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's that.
Right. Let's start with just making sure that your let's start with the shield. I think we're gonna be if you will be playing Sigma, then let's start with that. Let's make sure that you trade your shield HP, and then after that you can think about shielding. Possibly, if you can, try to get the power positions too. But yeah, you can
Yeah.
queue. You can queue. Yeah. If you need to warm up, you can warm up as well a little bit.
I'm plenty warmed up. I played before this.
Okay, that's good.
Select a map.
All right.
I
Usually
do not like Dorado.
Shambali
I
is
do not like
good.
Dorado.
Dorado, well, Dorado defense can be okay for you, Sig. Shambali is definitely one of the best maps on Sig. Rialto is okay, but attack will be not as comfortable, I think. Dorado,
No, more so. I just don't like Dorado as a map in general.
that's okay. I
Select your
understand.
hero.
Everyone's got one map that they just despise.
Yeah, well, probably yeah. Depending on what you play as well, for sure.
'Cause I feel like every time I'm up against a Smurf, it's somehow always Dorado.
Oh, okay.
Because one time I got mashed into the same Smurfing diva twice in a row, and it was both Dorado. Why are we
Yeah.
banning?
I see, I see. That's alright. What do you usually ban here?
Most time I just go with the flow. Like if it's Junker Town, I'll ban Widow, mainly because I don't want to have to deal with a Widow. But
Yeah, that's understandable.
the low ranks, it's mainly Doomfist, Sombra, Freya.
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
I see. Well, attack, that's not bad. You can still think about the same stuff we talked about. If you, for the sake of the practice, we can do Sig for now, but if it's really needed, we can also do some other
Yeah,
shield tank as well for practicing the shield. Like Reinhardt would also work for that. Yeah, out of your character pool, the Ryan is okay. With the Ryan will be the same idea too, around just making sure that you trade armor, and then after that is shield here. Exactly, just make sure you trade your half blue shields usually, then shield is gonna be good enough.
Everyone feeling warmed up?
well they have I think Farah Lifeweaver.
Careful of that undertow.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was some sort of explosive. Pretty sure it was Farah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
On attack, at first, it might feel that, yeah, you can start with this building first, but you might feel that you might be in the main quite a lot too. That's a good position, by the way. Good patience, yes. And it's just exactly use the shield when it's needed. You can also pick your team later on if it's needed. For the health, don't forget. Yeah, it's okay. If you don't have HP, you just pick your team and also use your shield too. Okay, you have HP now, so it's good. Go in and you can set up here. I think this position is okay for you. Okay, Kiriko, sure. That's good. Shield, and you can also pick your team too. Nice. Okay, next power position. Let's find it. Maybe try to take the top from that Cassidy there. If you get the life fever too, that would be perfect. Cassidy now, maybe? Yeah. Okay, they use the grip that now can probably pressure the backline. You have the good angle.
Oh, I panicked.
That's okay, that's okay. Alright, a lot of good pressure still. You can potentially, yeah, nice. That's good. If they're doing any big pressure, you can always use the shield, obviously, to disable ult, like that. That's good. For general stuff, for the poke damage, just doing the shield once your HP is out is good. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you should be
why did
winning
you give
this.
to me?
Well, at least it's giving out skulls, so you can go on aggressive, pretty much. It's fine. Just to secure the space, not bad. Okay, I think about the next power position where you need to set up. It's gonna be the stairs, yeah. If you sit there, you can instantly stop the enemy team from taking angles. Nice, that's good. Good being patient, waiting for the moment. Yeah. If your HP drops, shield HP, and you want to remain aggressive, you can use the shield, but yeah. That's good, that's good. Nice, good stuff. If you secure that space completely, once you get rid of the Bastion, that would be the most ideal. You can even think about your ultimate, how you can set it up later on. You just need to pick your team. Think what you can do with your ultimate. Think about that. Might be a little bit late now. It's okay. They done a lot of pressure on your team already. That's okay. You can just exactly fight for the power positions like you did before, and then you can even think about securing the space there. See, like with the Sigma ultimate, you don't have to get a lot of people. Even one Bastion up there, for example, who was up there.
It was just more or less. I was waiting for if we pushed it a little further so I could, you know, fully cap with it.
Well, yeah, this is okay. Like, you see, you don't need to wait for the full value. Let's put it this way. Even getting one person is winning you the fight. So that is nice. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, now you don't need anything. You just, oh well, you maybe, but just be cautious what you use it on. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Especially when you're able to fight for those power spot there for the high gun. That's good. Next power position, think about where you're going. Top right. Top right, probably because of the pressure. That's good. If you're able to get a kill, that's good. Exception rule. I think when you're on the card, you can definitely make it. Angle is good. Diverts enemy attention. That is our main point of trying to take the positions. Yeah, exactly. Nice, nice. That's good pressure from here. You can do anything you want to. Yeah, if you recognize there's a high chance of getting killed, then you can drop. Always. That's fine. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Just try to get the squishies first, like the Kiri.
All right, nice.
Yeah, it's looking decent, I think. Good patience with the shield, good fight for the high grounds, power positions. The only thing I would say, the biggest one is possibly if you're able to get one kill with ultimate, at least that's good enough, even though it's by yourself. It's like an exception rule I talked about. You don't need your team for the time when there is a kill opportunity. If you know, oh, the Bastion is up there. They also use Suzu, by the way, so, well, just ult him, secure the space, you'll probably win, and, well, you may force out something from the enemy team, but that's the main point. You're just making sure that you, as a tank, you tank, so it's good to initiate a lot of times.
Because that ult there, I got the Kiri in it, and she was already half, so I was like, she's dead, gonna kill the Bastion now.
Yeah, that was good too, by the way. The second time, I was just more talking about like the first time when you took the high ground. Because you secured that space really well, you just needed like a little bit more of it. And the time, yeah, that during that time, nobody had an advantage. It was kind of, well, you had slight advantage because of the position. But numbers-wise, you could get a kill and then it would be even you probably winning that right away if you use the ultimate, so... I think it's okay. It's just not... I'm just talking because we mentioned power positions. Don't hesitate to use the ultimate to secure that space too. This position is good to start with. Yeah, make sure you trade in your HP. Let's keep their bubble in mind. Try to make sure they use it first. And you can lurk them pretty much. Don't use it too early. So remember, you're always kind of forcing them to do something then punish. Like, see, this guy has used the bubble. You can punish them after. Yeah, that's okay. Just decisions-wise. It's always this way. HP back under, just in case. That's fine. They got frozen there. Lol. No, we don't need the point, actually. From there, you wouldn't be able to win it anyway, to be honest. Because of your team died, you need to somehow to make sure that you get a kill on somebody.
Yeah.
And then you can drop on the point. The point is not gonna do much. You need to, you need to take top.
Oh, Sig's so slow.
Yeah, well, that's right. But you have strong range pressure too, so no worries. Yeah, like you can start already here. Yeah, if they try to take top, just be mindful about their bubble. Like make sure they invest something before you use the rock. The bubble is invested. It's easy rock opportunity after. Yeah. It's okay. Shift. Be careful. Pick your supports. That's fine. Nice. Good rock there. Build the ultimate and probably think about that. That is good. You also forced out the 3. That's what we need. Nice. Doing pretty good. Just keep the pressure up. Nice, good job.
Oh,
That's fine, that's fine. Just a little bit too far forward, but that's okay. Just keep the
Won the
coordinates in
fight,
mind. Yeah. We win the fight there. That's good. The ultimate's been good. Just good patience. You took the top there too, so you stopped them. Stop their momentum. That's what we want. Well, top right is better, arguably, based on where the card is. But you can also... Yeah, well, I guess you can also walk from here. Just takes time, but yeah, this is how it goes. It's still better. Yeah, good setup there. Okay, when you have an advantage, you can even think about controlling the point. So it's just, you see, like, here, this is when you can start stopping it, by the way. Why? Because you already got 2 kills. The power positions are there for you to establish the advantage, and once you get it, then you can drop. Now you gotta go with the power position again. Yeah, no, regardless, because the next fight.
fall off.
Yeah, prepare for the next fight. Okay, we just established advantage. We don't want to drop until you get a kill. Or 2.
Oh,
That's fine, that's
I
fine.
meant to do that.
No worries. Just try to survive there. Maybe sustain a little.
oh.
That's okay, a little bit tough, but it's doable. I'll make sure you
I think I
set
stayed
up.
high ground too long.
Well, it's not too long. You need to do more pressure there. The position was good. You cannot drop until you establish the advantage. Simple as that. So it's good to stay there. You're not gonna do more damage by dropping. You need to set up. So you could be taking top left. Yeah. Take top left. Make sure the enemies are not there. And then after that you can think about something. Keep in mind that your Wu Yang is dead, but yeah, you can do it slowly. Yes. This is good. And now, establish the advantage first. Maybe you can use your ultimate, and then you can actually think about dropping. Yeah, the ultimate. Use the soldier. Yeah, just a lot of big momentum there. But you just need to try to get a kill on someone. Squishy.
Yeah, I'm not killing nothing here.
It's fine. Try to sustain there. Just keep shooting the squishies. Probably supports if you can after that. Squishy still? Yeah. Supports first. They still have Kiriko and they still had Life Fever. You see, like that time, when they have someone like that, they just better to shoot. I mean, sorry, Wu Yan Life Fever. Yeah, Wu Yan Life Fever should be first priority there. It's like, would be good. It's just the quality of the pressure. That is how it usually will go. You might the people might tell you, oh, you're not on a point, you're not doing this and that, but in reality, it's gonna be the quality of the pressure first. And if you solve that, then you can stop the point faster afterwards. You cannot stop the point first, never. Like, this is just the wrong thinking. You need to do more pressure and make sure it's higher quality. So that last fight, for example, it's how you use your ultimate, or who do we put pressure on? Is it Life Fever? Is it Kiriko? Yeah. Is it their supports instead of the Mei? Stuff like that. So don't let it.
More or less, I didn't see either of the supports within like a range of me being able to hit them, so I was just trying to get the Mei to have to back off.
I see. Yeah, well, it's just in this case, it's more of a searching. Yeah, make sure that you scout for them because they're still in the fight. They've been healing May non-stop there, so that's why. Yeah, in theory, they actually been in a range there too because of the. I think the Wuyan was slightly more in the back. We can watch the replay. Probably the Life Fever was on the top at some point, but yeah, it's fine. Just make sure you deal with their healing support first, and yeah don't. You don't need to drop on the point, yeah, just play it the same way as you did. Make sure there's higher quality pressure first, that's it. Yeah, I hear the soldier somewhere behind, by the way. I heard him once.
Yeah, no, I think he's below.
Yeah. This might be flanking later on. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Okay. Now, when you have an advantage, you can actually think about dropping on the point, but later, you still will need to take the power positions too. This is how it goes. Just be careful about the wall. Squishes first. This Bastion may die. Yeah, well, unfortunate. That's fine. Try to get the Life Fever Curie. Life Fever Curie if possible. Sorry, Wuyan. I always mix it up. Like they'll almost look the same. Yeah, Wuyan Life Fever. Okay. Now you can prepare for the next fight. Yes, exactly. Now you set up an advantage. You need to keep poking, maybe get a couple kills. And don't drop until you establish something, establish an advantage. Just make sure you get a kill. That is good stuff. You may think about using ultimate. What are you gonna do about it? Good. Yeah. It's 1-for-1. You need your Shiv there probably soon. Okay, never mind. Sustain.
Oh.
Alright, almost. Was pretty close. You guys can set up for the next fight there. Make sure you take the top right away. So go right, usually right, yeah. Right is faster. Or take right, you get them off the high ground, and then after that you can start dropping once there's an advantage. If there's no advantage, there's no point. It's not gonna do any better. This is good stuff. Okay, advantage there was May ultimate. Try to get a kill. Maybe there's a soldier.
Wait. Oh.
Okay, you have good enough advantage there, so dropping might make sense. Okay,
go.
never mind. Yeah,
He jumped off point.
it's good. You're also gonna have the perks in attack, so you can start taking high grounds right away. Make sure you do that, and will be good. If you're able to win the first fight, which is the most important, you probably will have enough tempo to win the rest of the game. And the first fight's usually crucial. So, get rid of the high ground, make sure that you establish the control there, and then after that you can probably push the point.
That first point, like, there's not really a good spot for me to be besides that red building.
Yeah, well, you can, you see, because you have the perk, you can try to take another high guns too. Yeah, you can go top right easily. You can go deeper, top right, and start there. Usually that's a good spot if you can get there. But I think you're only able to make it from the cart, if I'm not mistaken, when you're floating.
I might be able to go from that red roof.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Roof there to like float over, maybe.
You know, the only concern is if you're able to take more. Yeah, you might take a lot of poke damage this way, but yeah, it's possible. You can start with rat building regardless, and then later you can drop in the
Yeah.
cart. Okay. Good patience. Yeah, nice. Trade your shield HP. Okay, you can think about taking the another top if you want to. You can maybe even rock. Careful, careful. The poke there. Yeah. That's okay. That's
no,
fine.
no,
You can
down
do it from the card. You can do it slowly. Just this is what I talked about. Yeah, when you kind of float in the open, you might take a lot of damage. Yeah, that's okay. I like it. I like it. All right. Pressure first. Power positions first. Yeah, use the positions. Yeah, this is good angle, by the way. It's okay. It's fine, it's fine. So make sure stabilize. You want to try to stay here, but stabilize by picking, asking for heals. Yeah, that's okay. That's good, that's good, that's good. Really, really good that you maintain this. Just do it that way so you get rid of those guys on the top. That's close, that's close. Can get a Bastion. Nice. Okay, think what it can do is your ultimate going forward. Ah, well.
I got fucking bullets from 5,000
Oh my god, he's so loud.
big Mayota.
His
Oh my
microphone is
God.
loud indeed. Yeah, the May perk is freezes you. Ah,
I
that's
didn't
fine.
know that full CC'd.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I didn't play against the May too much either. But
So
yeah,
worrying about
apparently
mine
it does
on high ground.
CC you. In Overwatch 1, it used to be the
that's
thing.
what I could have done there. That's so annoying. Why is us like playing? Yeah. I'm coming back to play, so.
Just play it slow. Make sure you get rid of the angles first. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Now you can think about who's gonna be a good target for you to go forward, like their backliners. Yeah.
The badge, no pull. Made that.
Okay.
Weave was one.
Pressure, pressure.
Oh, he's so low, chilly.
Nice, good job.
We got pushing points though.
Okay, you guys got the point. Make sure you control the power positions first. You cannot.
Yeah.
Well, who is staying on point? Okay, supports can stay on point. Yes, let support stay on point. You can take the better positions.
Where are they all at?
It probably will be low ground because they will try to stop the card soon. But you can do so much from here. You can think going forward, just go on their backliners.
Oh, I thought we
Interesting.
C9'd. Oh,
Yeah, I thought so too. At the start. Interesting. Well, interesting.
that scared me so bad.
A pretty close game, but honestly, like, don't listen to the people when they tell you gotta stop the card or something as well.
Yeah.
Just a more start with the performance, the quality of the pressure, because if you do that, then it's gonna be easier for you to stop the card second. Like I told you, you can do that only when you have an advantage. It usually goes this way. You establish as many advantages as possible, and the positioning is one of them. And once you do that, then later on you can start dropping. You can start like thinking, I have big advantage. Okay, let's push up, take space. Maybe I can hold the card a little bit more. But as Sigma, it's almost never stay on points first. It
Yeah,
just, it
no.
can be sometimes with a brawl tank where you can bunker up, but with Sigma, no, almost never. You need the ranged advantage anyway, and when you're on point, you not gonna have an advantage versus the brawl characters as well, stuff like that. So yeah, Okay,
I definitely think the hazard swap at the end was a good move.
that was a good move too. Yeah, it's pretty faster pick as well. Well, you can kind of get there with your mobility there too. So yeah, it's definitely good. It's always good decision at overtime if you have any faster character in the pool, like more dive character. It's so yeah, it helps a lot, to be honest. Yeah, nice. Let's then probably summarize what we went over with you today. What you learned so far.
Yeah, well, definitely the fact that shield isn't proactive, it's used more reactively, and
Mhm.
prioritize it over like a good chunk of my health. Along
Mhm.
with the whole, utilizing high ground properly where it's not just sit up there, shoot at them a little. No, it's wait until you've done enough to where you have some sort of advantage, and then that's when you go point.
Yeah, yeah. Usually it's gonna be that. Well, sometimes if you recognize that they're not pushing the point whatsoever, then yeah, you can maybe still stay there. Most of the time, that's how it's gonna be. As you usually shouldn't be the one contesting the card. But yeah, if you really need, then you can do that. And don't forget that when you using your shield, it's not only trading your blue HP, you also need to think about the cover. Cover first, and then shield second. It's gonna be okay. All right, yeah, a lot of good things.